Corangamite.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. It is a great pleasure to rise and speak on this motion, and I want to commend the member for Chisholm for bringing this motion forward to the parliament. A wonderful local member. And I take note of the member for Parramatta's comment that the member for Chisholm hasn't been spending much time in her office, and that says everything about Labor you want to know. Members that sit behind their desks. I'll tell you where the member for Chisholm has been. Not only has she been working hard in her office, but more importantly, she's been out in the community. She's been out in the electorate. She's been talking to her constituents in the shopping centres and the schools, and all throughout the electorate, the aged care homes, and every other corner of the electorate, and the message is loud and strong, as it is in the electorate of Corangamite, which I proudly represent. People do not trust Labor. They know, Australians know that they cannot trust Labor, and what we've seen from this party opposite and members opposite is a party which does not have a plan, a party which intends not only to hike up taxes by more than $200 billion over 10 years, a party which has now said that it is going to take $70 billion out of the pockets of ordinary Australians because it's going to oppose stages 2 and 3 of our income tax cuts. And these are tax cuts that will mean that 94% of Australians will never face a top marginal tax rate of more than 32.5%. 32.5%, and Labor wants to rip that away. Labor has no plan, and what we know from Labor's opposition to our company tax cuts that we are proposing to bring company tax down to 25%, Labor wants to send jobs offshore and wants to prop up multinational companies working overseas. It does not want to make us internationally competitive, and the regressive, economically destroying policies of Labor will send this nation backwards. We are incredibly proud that we are delivering tax relief to every working Australian, starting with low and middle income earners, where from 1 July we were providing immediate tax relief of $530 a year, and for a low or middle income worker, parents, the father and the mother both working in a family, that will be over $1,000 of instantaneous tax relief. And of course, what we've also seen in terms of the opposition leaders' declared war on business which employs 90% of Australians. We've now seen the member for Grainler call out the opposition leader. He's embarrassed, and we're now seeing cracks starting to appear in that little leadership tussle, where the member for Grainler is implicitly condemning the opposition leader's war on business, on his strategy to divide Australia and to isolate hard-working Australians. And let me say this, Mr Deputy Speaker, in not supporting our company tax cuts for all companies, and of course focusing on those with a turnover of more than $50 million, this is not just a war on business that Labor is declaring. They are declaring a war on half of all Australians who work in all of these businesses. And who are we talking about? We're talking about the shop assistants. We're talking about those who work in supermarkets. We're talking about coal mine workers and construction workers and truck drivers and aged care workers, researchers and scientists, people who work for food processors, and of course the many thousands of people who work in manufacturing. All of these Australians work for companies larger than $50 million in turnover. They are a very important part of the Australian economy, and in attacking those companies, Labor is attacking those workers, and it is an absolute disgrace. And we've seen the member for Grainler call out the opposition leader on his terrible strategy, which is not only intends to destroy the economy, but frankly is soul-destroying for all those workers who know how important their jobs are and how important their jobs are in terms of giving the security they need to provide to their families and to their children. So again, I congratulate the member for Chisholm on this very important motion. Our plan is very strong. We're bringing the budget back to balance by 2019-20. Our net debt will fall by $30 billion over the next 4 years, and our stronger economy and record jobs growth is, of course, ensuring that we will be able to deliver the important services that we need, like the NDIS and, of course, our guarantee for Medicare. Thanks very much, Mr Deputy.
The question is the motion be agreed to, and I call